Hey guys, I'm Serge,
And I'm Meg.
and we're with Keller Williams in downtown St. Petersburg.
Yeah.
And today we're doing our monthly update, and this in particular is a very important monthly update because it's our first month in real estate, and this is the one that most people are curious about. What happens in your first month of real estate?
Yep, exactly.
So we did a video where we talked about our first week,
Right.
and then we kind of talked about why we decided to go into real estate. So please check those out.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about our first month now.
Yeah, so at that time we had decided on Keller Williams. We've been with Keller Williams then for the last month. And we got started in their Ignite program right out of the gate. So we actually started kind of halfway through the program. But they run that 3 days a week for about 3 hours a day. And it's just packed with all sorts of information, some technical information, but also just a lot of the kind of emotional gearing up of being a realtor and how, to get yourself in the right mindset to go knock on a door or talk to your first potential buyers or talk to your first potential sellers and start working through the process of negotiating on deals and all of that. So that was pretty much the gist of the Ignite program, was to just get you out there and get going in real estate and really encourage you to start reaching out to your network and do the business. I mean, really that's what they're trying to help teach you to do, is to get out there and do the business.
Yeah, because getting your license as a realtor, I mean, you're basically learning how to stay out of trouble, right? So you take the 6-week course, you go out, take the class, pass the test, you got your license, you hang it with a broker, and then, all right, well, now how you go out there and actually generate the business. And so it teaches you all about that. So now that we've been out there for a month, and we actually kind of missed out on pretty much a full week because we had to travel for a wedding.
Yeah, exactly. So we're redoing some of the classes, so they did give us that option to make sure that we get back in there and get the classes that we missed. So this past week we did some of that, which was great to kind of catch up on the classes that we missed. But yeah, I mean, now we're out and going, and the big news that we have to share is that just after this first month and a half, we have our first seller, we have our first listing agreement, and we also have our first buyer. So that's that's the dream, that's the goal, is to get out there and immediately generate business, and you can do it. And we can kind of talk about how we did.
Yeah, sure. So in this particular case, let's talk about the buyers first, just a little bit. Now, with the buyers, the one thing that we are still kind of formulating a plan is to get the word out to our network, our sphere of influence.
Right.
So the buyers that we end up getting is being the one just kind of reaching out and giving an update that we are in real estate, and as a result, Mike gets a buyer.
Yeah. So it was just a friend that we'd connected with some time ago, and he was looking for a realtor. And one of the takeaways from this particular exchange, and I think ultimately why we ended up with that person as our client, is he posted on Facebook, said, "I'm looking for a realtor in the Tampa Bay area." And immediately a ton of people commented, but I just reached out and sent a personalized message and said, "Can I buy you a cup of coffee and tell me about exactly what you're looking for, and I'll work with you." And that kind of layer of professionalism is something that right now we're kind of just touching on the surface of, like, how important that may be, that the personal touch and the professional touch.
Yeah, and it kind of, there's a little stigma in terms of realtors. A lot of people who had a chance to interact with realtors, many of them may have been in fact part-time realtors, and they do it on the side. They don't actually know how to be effective, how to be professional, how to follow up. That's the number one thing that we've been hearing all over the place, is the lack of follow-up. And then, so we get the buyer through just showing how professional Meg can be. And then on the other side of getting a seller, so everybody talks about how you have to get a listing. And in this particular case, it's been a challenging way to get the seller. It's been the one that maybe a lot of people shy away from, and it's calling for sale by owners on Zillow.
Yeah.
And
if you're a realtor and you're watching this, you're like cringing right now, because it's not exactly the most pleasant experience, because everybody's doing it.
Yeah, and all of these sellers who are getting a call from a realtor, the realtor oftentimes, it seems that they're reaching out, to benefit themselves and not necessarily the seller. And the sellers feel that, and they've already received maybe 10 to 15 calls from other realtors. So they just, I've had people who hung up the phone on me.
And you have to imagine, if you're trying to sell your home, you're getting a ton of calls, you're really excited, and every single call you get is someone trying to sell you on taking a commission, which you've already kind of decided you don't want to deal with. So your first 10 to 15 calls are probably going to be, instead of really exciting, they become really frustrating. And so, yeah, kind of Serge took his approach, which was to offer, you know, help.
Yeah, calling, having a good conversation with this person, and actually what I've realized, and I think it's true for everybody, it's acknowledging that the seller, they want to net the most amount of money,
Right.
and the fact that they're out there posting their listing on Zillow puts them in that position, and let them be and actually be of some value. I called this particular for sale by owner because their pictures were not looking good.
Right.
And I actually just wanted to call and say, hey, but your pictures just need an update. You know, what's going on there? And he explained to me that, you know, his house needs to be fixed up a little bit on the inside. They need to go in and get rid of some junk that they have there, this and that.
Yeah.
But we end up having a really good conversation. This man is trying to change his life. He's trying to move to North Carolina. His girlfriend is waiting for him there. So we said, all right, look, we'll meet with you. Went through the process. And I think the highlight of that process has been the fact that we've actually, through the Ignite courses, we were able to learn how to read the contract and how to explain that contract to the seller. So Meg, with her legal background, was able to sit down and go line by line and explain the contract to the seller.
Yeah, so, you know, I got the impression from the seller that he felt maybe more at ease to have me sitting there as an attorney reading through the contract with him, and we went line by line. And so my, you know, kind of advice from that is that you know, anyone that's dealing with a contract is probably a little bit intimidated by it. They always think it's full of legal language, and they always feel like it can kind of screw them over somehow. And so your job, whether you're an attorney or not, is to simply make them feel at ease with this document that they're signing. And so walking them through and taking that, again, kind of professional approach. How would I deal with this client if they were walking into a law firm where I was practicing? This is exactly how I would treat them. And so that's how we want to treat the people in our real estate practice as well.
Yeah. So the big takeaways from this first month is that the education that we got at Keller Williams is unparalleled to anything else, right?
Yeah, it's been awesome.
So great. We got the education. We got that mental motivation to go out there and actually seek the business out and not be discouraged by anyone who says, no, I don't want to talk to you, whatever it may be. And so we got the education, we got the motivation, we are ecstatic that we got our buyers and sellers, and it's our first month. So it's very, very encouraging to just get out there and do. And you know what, look, this week, let's talk about this weekend a little bit. It was a challenging weekend for us, right? This is a Sunday, we're doing an open house right now. It's our second open house this weekend. We did it yesterday. It was raining, right?
It's 4th of July weekend.
Yeah, so we were sat at this house yesterday, and you know, we had like 2 people show up, somewhat discouraging, but what we took away from it is that, hey, we went out there and did what we were supposed to do.
Right.
And by going through the motions, getting out there, just like we did today, we've gone out today, we're doing an open house today, and unfortunately, the listing agent did not post the open house on MLS or Zillow. So we kind of like sat there, right? Like, what's going on? But we did have some people who show up because we did a good job of posting out the signs with the balloons and everything. And we've taken this time, actually, instead of wasting it here, we've taken the time to organize our contacts that we're going to be sending out emails to. We're recording this video and working on the website, doing everything that we can while we're in a real estate business.
Absolutely.
While other folks are on a boat, but it's fine.
And that's fine. I mean, again, we want to treat this as our business, you know, not just something we do on the side or for extra supplemental income. This is a business. We want to treat it like a business and bring our professionalism to our business. And so, yeah, we're going to take these opportunities, even that, you know, we'd rather be playing at the beach or on a boat, to build the business, to generate the sales and find our buyers, find our sellers, and keep moving forward in that direction.
Yeah, so far it's been so much fun. And we should probably talk a little about the fact that we came up with a name.
Yeah.
Right? So we sat there for a while and tried to come up with our team name. Because under Keller Williams, we are building our own business, right? We have the infrastructure there, and we wanted to come up with the right name. And we wanted to play around with the kind of the letters of our names and try a whole bunch of different things.
Meg and Serge, M and S, or you know, you
anything else.
Say the opposite. It just doesn't work that well as a business name. Yeah. So we did put the S and the M together, and we decided on Smart Real Estate Services. We want it to be broad because I am an attorney and I want to be able to offer you know, legal advice and some services, especially maybe for sale by owners who really do want to just sell it themselves, but they're looking for an attorney to kind of help work with them negotiating the process and all that. There's still a lot of paperwork and a lot of stuff that has to get done after you get the buyer, that not all for sale by owners are really thinking about. So there's a way to use the law degree, and also, you know, maybe down the road in a further capacity. And Serge, with his background in business and finance and real estate as well, again, we just kind of wanted it to be services so that it encompasses all that we hope to do with people who are looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate.
Yeah, we're looking at this not as just a job where you're clocking in, clocking out.
Right.
We're looking at this as we're building a business, Smart Real Estate Services, and it stands for Serge and Meg, our awesome real estate team.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and post another video soon. Keep the updates. Keep up with us, please.
Yes.
Of course, send us if you have any questions. And actually, Meg has been getting a lot of friends who are attorneys who are thinking about getting into real estate. So
absolutely.
you're on that path.
Yeah, reach out to us. We'll talk about, you know, where you might want to hang your license and our journey so far. And certainly the idea of working with more attorneys appeals to us. So, yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
We'll see
All
you
right.
soon.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.